Hello, I apologize. We had some serious technical issues. My whole rig just fell apart. I have no idea what happened. It just decided it wasn't going to work. Today wasn't today. So anyway, train your brain for success. I think the strategies that you can use to train your brain so when things go wrong, like your whole rig falls apart and nothing is working, that it doesn't just wreck you and make you collapse. That you're able to rebound, put the dog outside because she wouldn't leave my stuff alone, use the rigging I have to try to make it work and hope it doesn't fall apart and just go with that. So that comes with training your brain, because your subconscious, when things go wrong, your subconscious will kick in almost immediately and say, well, of course it's going wrong. You're a loser. Why would you ever think you could do videos? Nobody's going to listen to your stuff anyway. Why would they pay attention? And that starts working when things go wrong. So you have to learn to train your brain that when things go wrong, you take a deep breath, yell if you need to, scream at the dog, and just say, okay, we'll reset, we'll put everything back together and try it again, even with the dog outside barking. But if you haven't learned how to empower your mindset, then things throw you. And that's why when you think, why can't I do this? Or it seems every time I go to do it, something goes wrong. It's because the mindset in your subconscious mind, although you might be thinking, I really want to learn how to get on Clubhouse and host my own room. As you all know, I'm in love with Clubhouse right now, and TikTok. I gotta admit, if you're on TikTok, give me a follow. If you're on Clubhouse, check me out. If you need an invite, let me know. But your subconscious tells you can't do that. So I put together this, I think it's like 30-page workbook. I don't know how many pages. And it takes you through the steps. And these are the actual steps that I used to completely reframe how I think. And the first step, and you're going to hear me flipping pages because I so believe in this topic. I truly believe that this is one of the cornerstones that helped me change my life. And I mean, I'm 63. So it took me until maybe 57, 58 before I really got into the neuroplasticity of the mind and how much the mind is palatable, that you can put anything you want into it and believe it. That was my thing. I'd read books and people would tell me, and I'll feature a couple books. Maybe I'll show some on a thing on my page. But I would read them and I'd be like, well, it doesn't work for me, because it doesn't work right away. I still have to work at it. I mean, when my whole rig fell apart and the dog took off with half of my stuff, I had to sit there and tell myself, I chased after, I called her a really few bad names, and then stopped and said, Karen, you're in control. So I got my stuff back and I locked the dog outside. So the first thing is you do, every time you go into an interaction, you want to set your intention. And I know we always hear intentions as in, I intend to find a perfect mate, or I intend to drive the perfect car, intentions from The Secret. But intentions, you should be intentional in everything you do. If you ever watch Oprah, she will tell you that she is intentional on everything. When people would bring her a guest, and this, Mary Donahue helped book her things, and I think it was executive producer, and I was watching her, and she said that Oprah would always say, why do we want this person? What is our intention? And I think we get away from that. I think we get so busy, especially in 2020 and what appears to be 2021. We get so busy, we don't have the time to be intentional. We don't have the time to stop and say, okay, what do I want to get out of this video? What information do I want to impart? And on your end, you should be thinking, what do I want to learn from this? Why am I here? When I get on the conference calls for meetings, what do I hope to get out of this meeting? What do I want to give to this meeting, and what are my outcomes? And that's really important that you begin to get intentional, because then when you leave meetings, you'll be like, okay, I feel good about it. Now, I've had a tendency, sadly, over the course of time, to get into meetings where I wasn't intentional. I didn't prepare. I've been doing this job, my full-time job, for 20 some years, so a lot of times I could fly by the seat of my pants. But I realized I was ripping myself off. I wasn't giving myself joy. by being intentional on what do I want to learn from everybody. I got away from the community, and I am all about building community. I love building communities, but I got away from it. I got too much into my head. So for everything you do, be intentional. I mean, when I put the dog outside, what was my intention? My intention was for her to learn to quit taking my stuff and running outside with it. And yes, I know she's a puppy, but it's how puppies learn. And just so you don't think we're back east, it's about 75 degrees outside right now. So she's sitting in the sun. So no worries about I have her thrown out in the snowbank. The second step is your energy will flow where your intention goes. So if your attention, not intention, attention is on kind of feeling bad about yourself, that's where your energy is going to go. If you find that you slump in the afternoon, they always say, well, don't eat sugar or drink coffee. If you're slumping in the afternoon, ask yourself why. Because you control your energy. It's up to you where your focus goes. So if you need to get up and walk around, if you need to give yourself a pep talk, I give myself pep talks all the time. There's nothing wrong with it. I check in the energy. One of my gifts is I can read people's energies. When people walk into a room, I can tell you up, down, happy, sad, where are they? I can also look at them and say, ooh, I know somebody right now who keeps getting sore throats, and it's like, it's your sinuses. She's like, nope, doctor says no. And it's like, I don't care what the doctor said. It's your sinuses. So, and it turned out her sinuses. Because I can see that, because I read people's energy. Everybody has spiritual gifts. And when you begin to train your brain, that's another thing you'll get out of it. Is because all of a sudden you'll start seeing your gifts. Because when they're presented to you and you're not in control, you'll be like, oh, I can't do that. I'm not one of those people. I'm not smart enough to be a CEO or own my own company or apply for a sales job. But yes, you are. And when you take charge of your energy, you'll start realizing that. Because as your energy goes, is how you go. The next one is, as we talked earlier, start creating your intentions. For every meeting, be intentional. Know what you want to do. Choose how you think. I have some stuff here for, how do you create a positive energy environment? Make your thoughts good ones. Eat healthy food. I'm a chocolate chip cookie addict. So if I eat chocolate chip cookies, I'm okay. I don't beat myself up with it because I'm intentional. It's like, I think I'm going to have a cookie today. And I'm okay with that. And there'll be days when I really want a cookie today, but, and I'm going to, lunch coming, so I got to give up cookies. Exercise daily. I do my steps. I get my heart rate up at least 35 minutes a day. Meditate and just have like-minded friends. Have friends that support you. Have friends that are on your team. Because when you have friends that are like, I used to have a girlfriend. We weren't close friends, but I'd be up talking. She'd look at me and she'd be, it became a joke. It would be like, I'd look over and there'd be a face, and it'd be like, why are you like this? She goes, well, you're not saying it as I think you should. Okay, then you get up on stage. And, well, no, I don't want to do that. But then, okay. So you see what I mean? Keep supportive friends around you. Keep friends around you that are like, you can do this. You've got this. Look at how you handle your negative and positive thoughts. How you think, what you think about is what you bring about. And that's very important to the whole thing. I'm sorry, I hate when people lick their fingers, and yet here I am licking my fingers. Okay, so, excuse me. I got distracted here. Then the key, the absolute key is your belief system. Everything rises and sets on your belief system. If you don't believe in you, there's nothing left to say. Because if you don't believe in you, how are you going to expect other people to believe in you? You have to believe in you first and foremost. You have to know that you've got this. And that's why you learn to train your brain for success, because you want to learn how to take the negative sayings, and let me grab some back here. This also comes with a really great quiz to kind of help teach you how to say stuff. So that's helpful. Like you want, dollars flow easily and effortlessly to me. I see spirit in everyone and everything. I love my body. Yeah, how many of you guys are like, ooh, that's cringeworthy? But you love your body. You're brilliant. You're happy and delightful. That's a self-talk you want to run. You want to, when you say a negative, when I say a negative, and I learned this from Richard Simmons, he used to do the dancing and wear the short shorts and the sparkly top. I would learn when I say a negative, I say 2 positives to compensate for it. Give gratitude. Gratitude is the most important thing you can do at least twice a day. I do it in the morning and I do it at night. I sit down in the morning before my feet even touch the floor. I go through 10 things that I was grateful for yesterday. Tonight, I'll go through 10 things I was grateful for today. And yeah, there's a redundancy there sometimes, but that's okay. Because when you're filled with gratitude, you're unstoppable. When you give glory to whomever you believe in, spirit, God, doesn't matter. When you give credit to other people, you just feel good about yourself. I was teaching a class yesterday and I told this story. We're standing and looking at my kitchen thinking, I really want a new kitchen. And to be honest, I wanted a new kitchen for about a year now. And I was like, okay, I've had it with this kitchen. We are done. We're getting a new kitchen. And I looked at the kitchen again and I thought, Karen, there's a lot of people out there that would be happy to have a kitchen. They'd be happy to have this kitchen. So think about that. And I sat with it and I looked at the kitchen completely different. Yes, I still want a kitchen. I still desire a kitchen. But I had to get real with myself and say, well, it'll help the house value. It'll be easier for us because our house is 25 years old. So it's an old kitchen. We don't have anything pull out drawers. So everything's a dig fest. And so I went through, we're getting older. It'd be easier for us to get around. And I started looking at things differently. So when you look at something like when a dog stole my stuff, I could have looked at the dog like, I swear to God, I'm going to wring your neck. Or I look at it with love and say, okay, listen, you're a puppy. I have to train you though, so you're going to have to stay outside to learn your lesson. And then just get over it. And again, 75 degrees, dog's fine. But you have to understand, and we hear this all the time, words have power. How many times you're growing up, sticks and stones might break my bones, but words can never hurt me? That's not true. Words have the ultimate power. If my mom got mad, she could be a really mean, cutting person. I know she didn't mean to. She had a lot of health challenges, and she would just go for the jugular. It would be like, wow, that really hurt. She would paddle us, spank us. I was fine with that because that didn't hurt. Her cutting it, cutting you down hurt. So words have power. And again, this thing, you'll get like the first question, choose the one that works best. Is it, I intend to get that new car? I want that new car. I intend that I have a new car now. All of the above. And it's C, you intend to have the new car now. You have to set parameters with the universe. If you say, I want a new kitchen, and you leave it hanging, then the universe is like, okay, well, in about 20 years from now, you'll get a new kitchen. Be careful what you think. Be intentional. That should be your word for the year. And that is my word for the year, intentional. To be intentional in all my acts and everything I do. Because like I said, I got away from being intentional. I got away from being purposeful. I was trying to be on every platform I could be on. I was trying to, on top of having a full-time job in healthcare during COVID. So you can imagine how busy, I spend all day Tuesday and all day Wednesdays on conference calls from 8 a.m. to about 7 p.m. on conference calls, talking to people, learning stuff. It's a grind. But I got away from being intentional to what did I want to learn and what was I going to use this knowledge for. So for everything you go into, every experience, think, how can I serve and what can I get back out of this? How can I take charge of my mind? How can I own my thinking to get away from the negative? You're never going to be intentional because that's not how you are. You're never going to be able to build your own business because that's not how you are. You're never going to be able to be consistent because that's not how you are. You're not smart enough, pretty enough, thin enough, whatever. You have to control that. And the minute that you learn how to control that, The minute that you learn how to reset your mind, you win. And it's a gradual process. I mean, there's times when I still get frustrated and I still kick around for 20, 30, 40, 50 minutes, all poochy. Last night, the dog kept taking my stuff. I was so angry until, and it took me like an hour and a half to reset and say, Karen. But back in the day, that would have taken me weeks and a lot of alcohol. So I cut out the drinking and shortened my time frame. And my life has changed dramatically. So be in control of how you think. Go through the 7 steps in this workbook. Just give me your email. I'll send it to you free. I will add you to my list so you can start getting updates from me. But I'm not asking you to buy anything. This is how important I think this is. This is the cornerstone. And if you're a woman over 50, you haven't learned how to do this because we weren't taught how to do this. We were taught to put your head down, take care of the kids, go to work full time, bring home the check, and take care of business. We weren't taught to say, it's okay, if you go sit and think about yourself. It's okay if you go play a round of golf. My dad would work massive hours, and then he would come home on a weekend and go golf. I never saw the guy. And I get it. I mean, when I got older, it's like, well, hell yeah, you needed to golf. You worked in a steel mill, and you worked your ass off. You deserved to golf. But you had family. So it's the mindset. How do you get it all done? When you have the right mindset and you're empowered and you're intentional. So when he was home watching football, because the man loved his Pittsburgh Steelers, as do I, he could have been intentional and taken time to sit with the kids and say, hey, what do you think about this? Instead of, can you run and get me a beer, or could you do this? That was his communication, because that's what he knew. And as you get older, you understand it. But I didn't want to be that parent. And as I get older, I don't want to be that grandparent. I want to be intentional with everything I do, because success lies on owning your mind and being intentional. I hope this helped you guys. Again, if you have any questions, please DM me. I'm on Facebook. I'm on Instagram. If you're on YouTube, give me a subscribe. If you want this book, you can go to my website too, KarenBarno.com. And it's about halfway down to the right. You can click on it or give me your email. And if you're on Clubhouse, let me know. I'll talk to you over on Clubhouse. Talk to you guys later. Have a great day. Bye-bye.